Hank's turn as workaholic Chuck Noland in 2000's Castaway airs today from 2:20 p.m. on Channel 5. It follows the story of Noland, who ends up stranded on a desert island at Christmas, after going on one last job of the year for his firm. Upon the island, Noland is forced to try and deal with the isolation it brings, as well as survive the harrowing conditions thrown up by the Pacific Isle. The survival flick was nominated for 2 Oscars, including for Hank's performance in the Best Actor category, though he would eventually lose out to Russell Crowe in Gladiator. Hanks remains one of Hollywood's biggest stars, and has earned a further 3 Academy Award nominations throughout his distinguished career. However, despite being among the world's most recognizable stars, little is known about Hank's personal life, until he opened up about it on Desert Island Discs in 2016. Speaking to the show's host Kirsty Young, Hanks discussed in detail his childhood and relationships, particularly his first marriage, which would end in divorce. Hanks married Samantha Lewis in 1978, aged just 21. Their union produced children Colin and Elizabeth, which Hanks admitted was to quell the loneliness both actors felt. He said, "Having a kid at 21 was the greatest thing that ever happened to me because I didn't smoke pot. I didn't do drugs, I was not a party boy." Some 6 years later, Hanks met Rita Wilson, a fellow actor, who would end up changing his life forever. By 1987, Hanks was divorced but a year later married to Wilson, who he noted got him. The now 65-year-old said, "I don't think I'll ever be lonely anymore, that's how I felt when I met my wife." Among the tributes he paid to his second wife on the show, was the inclusion of Talking Heads' track One in a Lifetime, which reminded him of his first date with Wilson. Another of his choices left Hanks clearly emotional, this time Strauss's Also sprach Zarathustra, used in 2001, A Space Odyssey. Hanks noted how this offered him recollections as a child, and the nomadic childhood had experienced. The star recalled how Father Amos worked as a chef, and ultimately the family had to go where the money was, which meant 10 different houses in 5 years. He continued, "This was the wow moment of my life, going from a kid trying to figure out what's interesting in this life to young man yearning to be an artist. I started asking myself, how do I find the vocabulary for what's rattling around in my head? Not long after I started going to the American Conservatory Theater by myself to see plays I had no idea even existed." Young probed the California-born star further on what the thoughts were in his head, with Hanks having to compose himself to respond. In an apologetic tone, he laughed, "What have you done to me? No, it's all right, because I put too much thought into this list." What it was the vocabulary of loneliness. Castaway airs today from 2:20 p.m. on Channel 5.